Hello YouTube, this is Streamline with DVS Gaming. Today we're going to go over 5 tips for new players to STO. Tip number 1, saving your resources. You get resources and everything as you play, and as you progress through the storylines and everything. You want to save everything until you're sure of what you want to do with your character. Bring up our inventory and go to assets. Your energy credits. These can be hard to farm or earn early on in your character's levels. Later on it gets easier because you start getting things and doing things that earn you a lot of energy credits. Reputation marks, those are earned through your reputation through your character screen. Right now they're on the summer event with the reputation for the events. Once you hit a certain level, it will unlock different reputations, which will show up on the left column underneath the events. And you go through and build those up, and that allows you to get certain items and get things to help your character become better or more powerful. Another resource is fleet assets. You don't have to worry about that till you join the fleet. Dilithium is hard to get a lot of it in a short period of time because you can only refine 8,000 ore a day, and so as you gather dilithium it will come to you as ore depending on how you earn it. If you complete an event, it'll go straight to you already refined. With the dilithium, you earn it through projects, through going to the dilithium mines and mining it, or completing certain projects, and it will give them to you, and you can refine the ore at 8,000 ore a day. And you want to save these up because once you join a fleet, there's projects that require it. In order to upgrade your gear, you have to have dilithium in order to use the upgrade items and make your gear better. Gold pressed latinum, you want to save that up and earn it because you can use it to get certain items like Christmas items or summer items that are only available through the gold pressed platinum sellers. You'll earn R&D items that help with building or crafting rather items to put on your ship or put on your character and everything. So you want to save those up, which isn't hard to do because you come by them a lot throughout the game. So that concludes tip number 1. Tip number 2, promotional items. You want to go to the Zen store or C store, and there's a section labeled promotions. These are items that you can claim on your characters that are usually given out for free, or you get them through different things that the game company decides they want to offer for you, such as this loot crate promotion, which is something that you pay every month, and they send you different things, and sometimes it's stuff for STO. Tip number 3, upgrading mechanics. Upgrading mechanics. You want to understand how upgrades work and make sure that you want to do the upgrades before you click. And this goes along with the whole saving resources. We're going to take this phaser beam out of the ship real quick. We're going to right click it, and it is not upgradable because it is a beginner item. If we had an item that was upgradable, you'd right click, click upgrade. Mark 14 is the highest level you can get a weapon up to, but the quality can be still upgraded. So as you see, if you upgrade it from ultra rare to epic, you'll gain certain benefits from it and certain powers will go up. What you'll do is you'd select your tech upgrade, which I don't have any at the moment, And then they have accelerators that will speed up your upgrade process. So knowing which weapons you want or which items you want to have on your character helps with making sure that you do not throw away resources on something that you don't really want. Alright, tip number 4. Know the importance of various stats. So, while you're on the ground, you bring up your status with your character, and it will show you your health, regeneration rate, and give you all your stats. It'll tell you what passive bonuses you're getting, what your skill-based stats are for ground, and what your skill-based stats are for space. Now, the higher these numbers are, the better, but it also depends on what you're doing with your character. Certain stats will be lower because you don't really need them. But crit chance, if you can get your crit chance to around 25%, you don't have to be too high above it, but if you can get 25% or even near it, your DPS will go up, you'll hit harder and survive a little longer because of how hard you hit. Progress tells you everything that you've earned and how much everything that you have. Now, going into space, which we'll do by clicking this beam up the ship button, is important because it's the only way you'll get an accurate idea on the stats for your ship. Being on the ground, it doesn't tell you what your stats really are. So you have general stats, which tells you your stealth detection rating, which tells how soon you can identify a cloaked ship. Power transfer rate tells how quickly your power goes from shields to weapons to engines to auxiliary, so whichever way you transfer it. Then you have your defenses, gives your hull, shields, different resistances. Then your attack gives you your accuracy rating, your crit chance, crit severity. Your crit chance, you want that to be 25% or higher, and crit severity, you want that as high as you can get it as long as you're making your crit chance. Then you've got tactical based skills, so if you're trying to do damage, these ones are the ones you want to have at 100 or higher. You got science skill based, if you're trying to do crowd control or a little bit of healing, these will help you with that. Or if you're doing exotic damage. Engineering, you want that for survivability, so if you're playing a tank or a healer, these are the stats that you want to have really high. And then your movement stats, the inertia tells you how fast your ship can turn, flight speed, how fast it can fly, and turn rate. So your movement, your inertia, if you scroll over it, will tell you how quickly your ship accelerates and decelerates. High inertia means that you can get to your target faster and stop faster. Flight speed and your turn rate. If you're in the game and you have any questions about what the stats do, scroll over them and it will give you the information that you're looking for. And tip number 5 is the importance of a fleet. You cannot join a fleet until you reach the appropriate level, and once you get into the fleet, you'll have access to higher end content that gives you better things for your character. It also gives you a group to work with to raise the levels of the different areas of the fleet and give the whole fleet access to even better things, such as certain ships, weapons, and costumes. As you can see, this goes along with the holding onto your resources, because when you go to contribute, it's going to ask for some of them. in the fleet project. Fleets are good for getting into role-playing if you're looking for that kind of thing. They're also good for getting teams together to go into these missions and everything to get help to get things done in the game. So yes, fleets are an important thing, kind of like guilds in World of Warcraft. And that concludes the 5 tips for beginners in STO. If you would like more tips on different things in the game, feel free to comment. If you like the video, please hit like, subscribe, share. Maybe one of your friends might be interested in playing the game. And last note to leave you guys on is have fun.